Yes, my people, hope na they enjoy wetin dey happen for Nigeria, all the political crisis and everything that is happening in Nigeria. Hope na they enjoy, say hope na they fit in for everything wey dey happen. Hope say Nigerian weather never catch na wella. But before I say anything today, I just want to ask one single question from both obedient supporters, Peter Obi supporters, Bola Ahmed Tinubu supporters, Atiku Abubakar supporters, any party supporters. What I just want to ask this single question: that do you believe that democracy is the only way to change this country? Do you believe that democracy will lead us out of poverty, out of debt? You know, the debt that Nigeria is owing presently is more than Nigeria itself. So do you believe? That is a question for everybody. I just want you to answer it in the comment section if you want anything. Just before I play this video for you today, don't forget, answer the question. See you soon. We'll be back.
Welcome back to LAJUPOG TV show.
The home of crime scene.
It's happening in the street again.
The center of political news, celebrity gossip, religious gossip, and happenings in the society.
Join us, the voice of Africa.
Hello my great and wonderful viewers, welcome you back to LAJUPOG TV show. If you are new to the show, don't forget to click the subscribe button, the like button and the bell beside it, and also plan to drop your comment in the comment section so that YouTube will notify you anytime we drop any other video into the channel. Yes my people, I know that a lot of people will come out and start saying that I'm saying nonsense, that what am I saying, that I'm not supposed to be saying this in public, but I'm saying it now to all Nigerians that since when Nigeria has become a democratic running country, nothing really good has ever happened in this country. Because think about it, since year by year Nigeria become worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. There's nothing that we democracy, there's nothing that I can say that democracy has really done for Nigeria. Though it has given us freedom, it has given the citizen freedom, it has given us human rights, it has given us a lot of things, but there's no development in the country. Every day everything is getting worse. Government are doing bad things. See what Inec are doing now. If Inec will not exist if democracy exists, if democracy doesn't exist, it's because democracy is existing. That's where Inec is existing. After watching this video, you will see all the offense that has been committed by Inec in themselves. Since the beginning of democracy, INEC have been rigging election for both governorship, senate, everything, every single thing. Presidential election, they have been rigging it. But that's why I'm saying that we Nigerians should think about this: that is democracy really the right thing for Nigeria? Do we have any option that democracy can be rooted away, that Nigeria can become a country, can become a good country? People will stay connected to the end of this show, so you now go hear everything that INEC don't do. It go shock you now. I promise you, it go shock you. See you soon.
Impunity, conspiracy, deceit, financial waste, and democratic impediment orchestrated and effected in the 2023 elections, and the increased interest, awareness, and participation of our people in partnering practically to bring genuine change to our country at this time. It is imperative that we as a people do not again fall to the complacent hopelessness that has aided recurrence and deterioration, but that we pursue the required rectification and legal correction required to ensure that the will of the people, as expressed in 2023 elections, are firmly and rightly upheld. While it is often said that government or governance is a continuum, and the administrative formalities following the bizarre declarations by Inec have been put in place. The election today remains under legal contest and cannot be concluded until the legal processes have been rightly and judiciously exhausted. There is no doubt that these 2023 elections represent a significant and overwhelming watershed in our country's electoral, political, and development history. And at this time, the entire nation and the international community also stand determined to ensure that electoral fraud and the manipulation of the true will of the people will not stand as the foundation for bad governance in the past have been concretized by the acceptance of such illegality and conspiracy. Having concluded the hearing stage at the Presidential Election Petition Court in Abuja, the attention of the people and the international community remains transfixed on the judiciary, and with it, the expectation that the glaring wrongs, as documented by all observer groups, local and international, will be corrected for the good of the nation. We commend in particular, without equivocation, the courage, sense of focus and clarity of thought expressed by various election observer groups, local and international, that were duly accredited to monitor the elections. The Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room, the United States National Democratic Institute, and National Republican Institute, Joint International Election Observer Mission, the European Union Election Observer Team, Commonwealth Observer Group, African Union, AU, ECOWAS, and all other regional and local observers all deserve commendation. Their doggedness in field engagement, despite the onslaught of violence, inducement, manipulation, and all manner of evil as witnessed in the elections, will serve not only as an unbiased record of the tragic events, but as motivation for its logical conclusion and inevitable resolution according to the will of the people. In critically and broadly examining the independent reports of the various observer missions, the consistency in their experiences and exposition cannot be overlooked, as each and every observer group underline the fact that the elections fell short of citizens' expectations, legal regulations, and moral and international standards. The Nigerian Civil Society Room, the umbrella group for the majority of national NGOs involved in monitoring the elections, described the elections in its comprehensive report, and I quote, as a missed opportunity in Nigeria's democratic development. They further reported that credibility of the 2023 elections was greatly tarnished by numerous pitfalls. The election suffered several lingering deficiencies in election administration, including inefficient management of permanent voters' cards, PVC distribution, failure of operational and logistical arrangements, malfunctioning of election technology, inefficient handling of results management procedures, lack of transparent results collation and declaration process, and poor crisis communication. It further underlined that public confidence in the credibility of the electoral process and the capacity of Inec to conduct elections is gravely shaken, and that extraordinary efforts will be required to re-establish trust. It further proceeded that yet on election day, Nigerians were deeply disappointed by the glitches experienced in the use of IREP. Situation Room observed that election officials in many polling units were unable to access the IREF portal and to uphold results of the presidential elections. There were reports of election officials who either refused or were unable to uphold results. Excuse me. The civil society situation group also emphasized that no presidential election result was uploaded to the IRF portal as at 8 p.m. on the election day. In instances where upload occurred, the results were not legible or was defaced. Some uploads were not relevant as pictures of individuals or scenes on the location were uploaded. Going further to state that the seemingly high-handed manner in which the chairman of Inec, who served as a national coalition officer for the presidential election, handled proceedings during the results collation exercise further eroded public confidence in the elections. The failure of the chairman of Inec to properly consider appeals for review of results from some states in the light of the malfunction of IRF, as well as the apparent haste with which the collation process was concluded in an unusual hour, provided the basis for some observers to question the credibility of the collated results. Quote, and I hope you realize that what these are observations by the civil society in Nigeria. They are not my opinions, so that you can properly contextualize what I'm saying. The NRI American International Election Observer Mission, whose parent bodies had, prior to the elections, deployed resources in voter education and so many other areas in aid of a credible outcome, in their own report submitted, and I quote, "The 2023 elections in Nigeria fell short of citizens' legitimate and reasonable expectations. Significant logistical, technological, and communication failures by Inec, divisive rhetoric by political parties, political violence, regional disparities in electoral integrity, instances of vote manipulation, and marginalization of key populations marred the electoral process and disenfranchised voters negatively, and disenfranchised voters, negatively impacting on key aspects of the election process." The report went further. Quote, "The portal was not in compliance with open election data principles and did not provide the information in a complete, bulk, or machine analyzable format, limiting the ability of citizens to verify results at the local government area levels, state and national level, or to fact-check contradictory narratives. A significant percentage of the results uploaded to the IRF were unreadable. Furthermore, at the time of publication, Inec has still not uploaded more than 9,000 presidential polling units out of 136 nationwide to the IRF, and did not clarify how many of these units were cancelled." Unquote. In conclusion, the NRI observer mission held that Inec's lack of transparency and communication regarding the cause and extent of this problem undermined confidence in the process, especially in those zones and among parties that consider those areas their strongholds. The NRI further recommended that Inec, the police, and the courts should identify and prosecute those responsible for electoral violence or manipulation during the 2023 elections, further recommending that the international community should sanction and name government and party officials who orchestrated, tolerated, or encouraged electoral violence or manipulation during the 2023 election cycle. On its own, the European Union Election Observer Mission also presented a most comprehensive and analytical report. It stated clearly, and I quote, "The 2023 general elections did not ensure a well-run, transparent, and inclusive democratic process, as assured by Inec. Public confidence and trust in Inec was severely damaged during the presidential poll and was not restored in state-level elections." He went further to state that abuse of incumbency by various political office holders distorted the playing field, and that public confidence gradually decreased and was severely damaged on 25th February due to its operational failures and lack of transparency, and that multiple missteps and lack of transparency before the polls, compounded by severely delayed display of presidential result forms, dashed the public trust in election technologies used. Inec failed to give a timely and comprehensive explanation for the failures on 25th February. Unquote. The EU Observer Report further underlined, and I quote, on 25th February, voting was critically delayed by the late arrival of sensitive materials, and during the early stages of the collation, presidential results forms from polling units were not displayed real time on the IREV as committed to by Inec and anticipated by all stakeholders. The critical failure in the entire election process manifested at collation stage on 25th of February due to widespread disorganization, a lack of adherence to prescribed procedures, and an unsuitable environment. By the time of the declaration of presidential results, 1/4 of result forms were still missing from the IREV portal, and a significant percentage of the forms uploaded on IREV, often needed for comparison with manual results, were not legible. Unquote. That's the European Union extracts from the European Union Observer Team's document. Finally, in paragraph 17, page 7 of his own report, the ECOWAS Election Observer Mission stated that incidents of violence, killings, and disruption were recorded in several states. The mission deplores the unfortunate incidents that occurred in the lead-up to E-Day, leading to loss of life in some parts of the country. These include the murder of the Labour Party presidential senatorial election for Enugu East, alongside 5 of his supporters. Ladies and gentlemen, I've gone into detail in highlighting the consistency in the observations of different independent observer groups and the severity of their condemnation of the election process because of recent mischievous attempts to discountenance the uniformity of all reports on the level of manipulation and illegality executed at the last elections. The Labour Party and the obligatory presidential campaign organization hereby condemn vehemently the negative and jaundiced responses on the EU reports and other election observers' reports by the spokesperson of the APC administration and other ill-informed persons which are totally in discord with the mood of the nation at this time, and which also present an embarrassing contrast to their selective celebration of the 2019 election reports from these same observer groups. We advise that those who have deployed hired protesters to the offices of the EU in respect of their election report desist from any further wastage of public funds, as the objective of intimidation is without basis and has failed from the beginning, because indeed the irregularities in the election were so excessively glaring with bitter personal and reported experiences by the overwhelming majority of Nigerians. The EU Election Observer Mission, as well as the Civil Society Situation Room, NDI/RI, YIAGA, etc., are all Inec accredited observer groups, as well as very credible and long-standing international and local stakeholders in the Nigeria democratic process, whose reports are an essential contribution towards strengthening Nigeria's democracy. We would like to point Nigerians at this stage to the fact that the EU Observer Group report is in tandem with the reports of other international and domestic observers, duly accredited by Inec, and also in tandem with public opinion and the experience of the majority of Nigerian citizens who participated in or observed the 2023 general elections. At this juncture, there is no doubt that Nigerians and the international community expect the judiciary to critically examine the evidence, the law, and the processes of these flawed elections in arriving at a legally correct and overwhelmingly acknowledgeable verdict. We urge the people of Nigeria, youths, elders, voters, and all citizens to continue to follow the legal process patiently, keenly, and peacefully to a final resolution. In conclusion, we commend the international community and civil society for their continued support in growing and consolidating our democracy. It is now only logical, bolstered by the final Observer Group reports, that the international community take immediate and appropriate punitive action against Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, Barrister Festus Okoye, and other top administrative and field staff of Inec, directly complicit in the desecration of the results. We also demand unequivocally the immediate dismissal from office and prosecution of Professor Yakubu, and the commencement of forensic financial investigation into the expenditure of budgeted disbursements and donors' funds received by Inec, not least of which is the 300 billion naira appropriated from the national purse, as well as other funds and materials received from international donor agencies. The only point I want to make is that going forward, every step taken by this administration should reflect, with this president, at least until cases are concluded, should reflect the reality of the economic situation of the country, especially as it affects the majority of Nigerian citizens. The Constitution of Nigeria allowed for nominations from 36 states. I do not think we should go beyond that in recognition of the stark economic hardship that is confronting our people. It's also constitutionally guaranteed a 5-year term. So that is why, I don't know the intentions of the president. That's why it cannot be removed, and why they call it suspension. The same attitude should be applied to the INEC. The INEC has done enough damage that merits, being sanctioned accordingly. Ideally, anybody who has committed the kind of gross abuse of office that INEC has committed should resign. But we are in Nigeria where all things. So that of CBN and EFs will remain a selective approach to justice. If INEC, whose wrongdoing actually has greater consequences, for the well-being of the nation.
Yes, my people, thanks for staying connected to the very end of this video. Yes, I know a lot of people will come out and attack me and oppose me for what I'm about to say now, but I have to say it. Yes, this man explained what INEC chairman has done over the years within 20 minutes. all the lies, all the corruption, all the rigging and everything that Inec themselves has gotten themselves involved in over the years. But I believe that Peter Obi is going to win the election. He's going to win the election case. I believe that Peter Obi is the rightful person for Nigerian presidency. He's going to save us from this poverty a little bit, because what we are in, what Nigeria are in, the depth that we are in is more than what we can bear. That is why I'm coming out and asking we obedient everybody, all Nigerians, that is this the right thing? Is this democracy the right thing for us? Yes, we all know that Peter Obi is gonna do the right thing. He's gonna save this country. He's gonna do that. He's gonna do this. I believe that. But we don't know who is coming after him. We don't know who is coming after him after 4 or 8 years of his tenure. Another man, another president is gonna be elected. We don't know what he is gonna do. We don't know what is coming after that. Yes, we don't know. And we all know Nigerian politicians. They don't know. They don't like to follow what someone did. They like to come up with their own new things, new what they want to do and everything. But what is right for us? What is right for us? That's the question I'm asking, because I want a country that is going to be safe for future children. If that Nigeria is a well-developed country, not a corrupt country, not a bad country, not this and that, Nigeria will be one of the most powerful country in the world. But now see where Nigeria is. There's nothing that you want in this country that you can't get. Agriculture, petroleum, crude oil, gold, mineral resources, everything is full in this country, but there is nothing. The country is not growing. Is it because of one problem? There's one problem that we are facing in this country, and the problem is democracy itself. If we can fix that democracy, we can fix the constitution, then Nigeria, I believe Nigeria will be good. I believe that Nigeria will come out and we will shine as we are. I know, yeah, I accept. If anybody is saying anything, if anybody type anything that I'm saying nonsense, I'm using any foul languages, I accept. But I have to say the right thing, because what I say now, people is going to use it to judge me in the future. My people, just think about it, and don't forget, stay connected to LAJUPOG TV show for more entertaining news, more wisdom about what is happening in Nigeria. My people, don't forget, click the subscribe button, click the like button, click the bell beside it, and also drop your comment in the comment section about this matter. Is democracy the right thing for Nigeria? Don't forget. See you in my next video. God bless you. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you for staying connected at LAJUPOG TV show. Leave the message I can leave, let us know and impact you. So all we do on this channel is to bring to you prophetic words from men of God in America and outside America, from the pausing of Chili Drink and Christmas, from the dancing of the beloved and playground and all of that. So we'll update you with undiluted words that come from them, and also their prophetic words. And guess what? Many of these prophecies are really coming through. So just ensure you subscribe to this channel just to get more of the prophecy in pure time. Guess what? See you in my next video.